Hey, Johnny Roberts, we are back for another great episode of your podcast talking all things retirement. How are you doing today?
We are doing good, Mike. I think we're going to um, break some little mental rules today about retirement, talking about money, man. We're going to hopefully shake you up in your head.
I think so. I think so because for a long time, all we've heard is build your nest egg, right? You got to have a nest egg for retirement, and you watch the TV commercials. It's like, what's your number and how much is in your wallet, or what, all those things, giving us the idea that if I have a big enough nest egg, I'm going to be okay. And the reality is that may not be the truth, right? Because money alone is not a good retirement plan. Would you agree?
Oh, man, that's money alone is not a retirement plan. Money is a tool for a retirement plan. It's one of the things you need to have to help your retirement be as best as possible. It's a tool. But if you're just looking at, I got $500,000 saved up my 401k, that's my plan. No, there's a lot more to it than that because, as we talked about last week and several times in the past months, what's the dollar value versus the face amount of that money, right? What does
Yeah.
it mean for Social Security? What does it mean for Medicare? Is my money safe? Can I lose? Can I take 500,000 and I wake up the next day because there was something happened and now it's worth $390,000? Is that
Yeah.
how my money's set up? So there's planning on all aspects of those: safety, security, guarantees, taxes, Medicare, even premiums for Medicare. How does how does all that come into play with money being one of the tools that helps dictate a lot of those things?
Yeah. And I love the idea of money as a tool. I used to be a car mechanic years ago. And I still have my toolbox as being a mechanic. And it's full of different tools. Every tool has a different purpose. And if money is a tool, when you come into retirement to retire at new heights, you've got to look at your money as a toolbox and go, well, in this drawer is my tax deferred money. In this drawer is my tax free money. In this drawer is my Social Security money. In this, something like that, to say you've got this toolbox called money, but how are you going to use those tools to keep more money in your pocket versus giving it to your retirement partner that we talked about, Uncle Sam? And how do you make sure that you actually have a retirement plan? Because if you just take all my tools in my toolbox and put them in a big garbage bag and say, "Here you go," it's not very helpful at all, really. But that's what a lot of people do in retirement.
I love you, Mike. You give me so many ideas for analogies and stuff because I love doing this. I'm a simple person, and so when you're a carpenter, man, what is the one thing every carpenter has? I mean, it's the hammer. If you don't have a
Yeah,
hammer, you can't really do much. You got to have a
that's right.
hammer. But to build a house, you got to have more than a hammer.
Yeah,
Hammer is one of the main building blocks to being a carpenter. But if you're like, oh, I'm ready to work, I just got hired to build this house, you just show up with a belt with a hammer hanging out of it, these people are gonna be like, are you nuts, man? What are you doing here? You can't build a
right.
house with that hammer.
That's right.
And it's the same way with retirement. And people don't think about it that way. So, but think about it. You're going into retirement because you've always said, well, to be a good carpenter, you got to have a good hammer. Very true. But you have to have other tools as well. And there's really cool tools out there now that can help that hammer even do better and take pressure off having to use that hammer for everything, right?
Yeah.
All kinds
Yeah.
of things. And so, our money, our biggest tool that we have, maybe for our retirement, how do we take pressure off that? How do we make it so it lasts a long time? Like you get these tools. Remember Craftsman? You get
Oh
a
yeah.
lifetime guaranteed warranty on that, right? They were
Love
so,
that.
and so how do I have a guaranteed lifetime warranty on this tool of money? You know,
Wow.
am I buying one at the Dollar Tree? Not to slam the Dollar Tree, or am
Yeah.
I getting a quality hammer here that I know is guaranteed lifetime? And to do that, you uh, buy the right tool, and you also begin to put proper tools around it so that it's going to be the most successful for you, and you can build a house.
Yeah. I love you, Johnny. You gave me another idea for an upcoming episode. We're going to do one on, I just named it the Craftsman approach to retirement planning. So, Craftsman gave you a guaranteed replacement, right? You got guaranteed income and guaranteed tax free. So, we're going to do that in the days to come, because people have to understand it's a tool. Money's a tool. That's all it is. And I want a big toolbox because I've got a lot of desires to give money to the kingdom and things. But everybody has their toolbox, and they have their desires of what they want to do in retirement. And what you do is you look at their toolbox, you look at the situation, you make sure that they have guaranteed income for life, you make sure that they have taxes, and they're looking at taxes, Social Security, long-term care. These are all tools in a great retirement plan. And if you don't have a plan, you just have money, you're going to miss out on a lot of retirement benefits. Fair?
Yeah, man. Mindsets change as different phases in our life happen, right? Before you have kids, you're like, man, before you're married, it's like a totally different mindset. You get married, different mindset. You have kids, a lot of things stop in your life,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
The focus, everything. Then you have grandkids, which is where
Yeah.
I'm at now. That's a totally different, a cool thing. So there's different phases in our life. Financially, there's different phases too, right? So we need to begin to look at that and realize, okay, my mindset needs to change a little bit. I'm at this phase in my life financially and retirement wise. And have you allowed your mindset to change? You know, when you're a grandpa and you're 62 years old or whatever, um, uh, my mindset's changed in my life because I maybe can't ride the roller coasters with my grandkid anymore. I could do that
Yeah.
20 years with my own kids, but now I can't. And
Right.
so mentally with retirement, man, I can't really ride those roller coasters anymore. It'll mess me up. I want to. I had so much fun. It was awesome. Look at that thing. But I know if I step foot on that, me and my wife just went to Universal Studios a few weeks ago in Florida. We were on a little getaway, and don't tell her I said this. Hopefully, she doesn't watch this. But on a couple of the rides, she's not old, that old. We're in our 40s, mid to late 40s, and a couple of the rides, one of them, she was done for a few hours.
Yeah.
It's like, what is going on, honey? You know what I mean? It was, and things are changing. I can't ride spinny rides at
Yeah.
all. I could do that years ago. Mentally, in our money, in our retirement planning, we need to change our mindset and realize, hey, I've got to do some different things. I've got to add some tools. I got to be prepared, because just having the biggest, most powerful handle or hammer isn't going to get it done anymore.
Right.
I need to have other tools. I need to complement what I'm doing.
Dude.
I need to have guarantees, protection, estate planning, tax planning, social security wisdom. All those type of things need to be added into it, because if you just retire and be like, I've been contributing before, I've dealt with people like this a lot of times. Come in, here's my statements. I'm in great shape, aren't I? Yeah, you have a great tool to start with,
Mhm. Right.
but that money is not a plan. It is
Yeah.
just a feature of it. Unless you're like Warren Buffett or Trump or one of these super rich people or whatever, or Bezos, or okay, you got 20 billion bucks. Not a lot can go wrong here. But
Yeah.
down on the real level with us, whether it's 2 million, 3 million, quarter million, 500,000, there's a lot that could happen if we don't plan wisely.
Yeah.
So that's what we're dealing with, is the regular folks that are coming to us and saying, here's this money. I'm in great shape, right? And we're like, no, that's a beautiful hammer you have, but we want to trade it in for a craftsman. You want to add a drill, we want to add a screw gun, we want to add this or that, whatever it may be, a level, to your toolbox. Now then you'll be in
Yeah.
great shape, then you can build a
Yeah.
nice house.
I love it. I love it. I've got so many more episodes now that we're talking about tools, which is like my thing. But roller coasters, and the one that just hit me is if you looked at your I'm rereading Stephen Covey's Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, and he talks about the goose and the golden eggs, right? And that pair, or the fable from Aesop. And I think, wow, if you have this nest egg, that's your golden goose. If you don't nurture the goose is not going to produce golden eggs. So golden eggs in this, it could be guaranteed income, could be inheritance, could be Social Security, it could be taxes that you pay. All from the golden goose that you're preserving. You've worked your life to build this golden egg, this nest egg, this toolbox Johnny's going to help you understand how to add different tools in, how to protect yourself, how to preserve what you have worked so hard to generate and come up with. And so we've got a lot more episodes coming up that are going to really help you understand this at a deeper level. It's just part of having a retirement plan and not just a retirement statement. Here, I earned
Absolutely. Yeah. The last thing I'll say is we talked about this a few weeks ago is having a defense besides just an offense, because we have a lot of people that are quote unquote just chasing returns.
Yep.
And I made 30%, I made 20%, I made, but you got no defense on the backside. And if you
Right.
look at sports, most teams that win have a good defense. Yeah, they can score some points. But if you look at the teams that all they are is an offensive team, they got to score 50 points a game in football to win because they're going to give up 43. Eventually, they're going to give up 43, but only score 25.
That's right.
It happened with our Lions this year in the playoffs,
Yeah.
unfortunately, man. The best offense in the NFL this year,
Yeah.
and they lost at home to the Commanders, Washington. And guess what? Great offense. They still scored 31 points, but they gave up 45.
Right.
And so it is very hard to run
Yeah.
every single week or every day or having our retirement set up that way because we're just chasing returns with our money, trying to make that bigger and bigger and bigger with no defense.
Yep.
And so having a defense is a huge part of our retirement planning too. I'm going to score some
Oh,
points,
dude.
but if I score 31, I'm going to win because I'm not giving up 45.
That's
Or I
right.
might win the game 13-10, but I'm still winning. So
Yeah. I love it. Offensive and defensive retirement planning. I think you just gave us another
that's right, man. We're gonna
episode.
we're good. We're good through the end of the year now, I think. I don't
I think we are. Yeah. Yeah. I think this is good, but it's fun because I like it because we talk about retirement in a dozen different ways, and it's going to resonate with somebody to go, wow, I never thought about it that way. And what you want to do is just reach out to Johnny, Retire at New Heights, and you can retire at newheights.com, get a copy of his book, schedule a call with him, and he will help you understand the tools that you have for retirement, how to use your nest egg properly, how to protect it, how to make it last, how to put together an offensive and defensive strategy. Everything we've talked about, he can just talk to you in more depth. So thanks, Johnny. Man, we could go on and on, but instead of doing that, we're going to tie it up today. We're going to come back next time, and we're going to talk about money that's in the market versus safe money alternatives. That's going to be an exciting conversation. I can't wait for that one.
offense and defense, Mike. That's right.